Hello, what's going on, everybody? My name is Zach Pasquarello. I'm a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. I own Harrisburg Bookkeeping, and I own my own box truck company, Route 20 Trucking Company. I wanted to make a video sharing with you all week 3 of August. So I've started sharing my profit and loss on a weekly basis. I first started showing you guys startup costs and what to expect, just kind of getting started for the first 2 months. And then ever since then, I've just been making weekly updates. So I'm actually going to go through a couple different things that happened in the past week, and then I'll show my profit and loss. So just going to jump right into it and get started here. Let's see. We'll go over to this is my actual QuickBooks account. This is my Route 20 Trucking Company. This is my QuickBooks account. So if you all are not using QuickBooks, I recommend it. It'll really help keep track of your profit and loss, your expenses, and then when it comes time to do your taxes. So here I've got my banking feed. I've got my 2 credit cards and my checking account set up. So if you guys watched my video last week, you'll see that I created a couple bills. So I paid my driver and I paid my dispatcher. And so I created those bills in QuickBooks, and now the money actually came out of my checking account on Friday. So all I need to do, QuickBooks automatically recognizes the amount and the date. So all I need to do is just match the transaction coming out of my bank to the bill. It'll mark the bill as paid. So I just match those 2 transactions. So that's super easy. So that's how I pay my driver and my dispatcher. Create the bill in QuickBooks, set up the ACH transfer in my checking account, and then once the money comes out, you just match the bill payment to the bill, and it takes care of it for you. This is my truck loan payment. So every month on the 25th, money is automatically withdrawn from my checking account, and it goes to pay off my loan. So you want to do 2 things here. First of all, you want to request your amortization schedule from your loan officer. Whoever originated your loan, make sure you get the amortization schedule from them. That way you could split the interest and the principal. So every loan payment here, it's not as simple as just one line categorization. You got to split it up. So in your QuickBooks here, this is just the $411 coming out of your checking account, but you want to make sure you split it. So go to split, and it's 2 things here. So first of all, it's you're paying off the principal of your loan, and then secondly, you're paying off the interest. So I'm going to look at my amortization schedule here real quick. August 25th, so $73.14 was paid towards interest, and then the remaining $338.45 was paid towards principal. So that's how you split it up. This interest paid is an expense during the current period. Paying off your loan, you're just reducing your liabilities. So that in and of itself is not going to show up on your profit and loss as an expense. You need to capture your depreciation, and I'll capture depreciation in the final week of August. That'll be in my next video. I'll show you guys how I do depreciation for my truck. Okay, so those 3 transactions are taken care of. Now moving on to my credit card, you can kind of see here these green check marks. That means that there are no transactions that need to be categorized, but here my credit card, my American Express, I have 3 outstanding transactions. So I just got my ELD with Keep Truckin'. I've heard good things about them, so hopefully that ELD helps me stay compliant and keep track of my drivers. So Keep Truckin', and then you can categorize it any way you want. It really doesn't matter for tax purposes. You know, as long as it's a necessary and ordinary business expense, it doesn't matter really where it shows up on your profit and loss, because your accountant or your CPA is going to take your profit and loss and then transfer that to your Schedule C for your 1040 when it comes time to file your taxes. Just make sure that it makes sense to you, your business, and your accountant. So I'm going to create a brand new chart of account. I'm going to label this as an expense, and then I will probably categorize it as job supplies. So let's see, supplies and materials, and I'm actually going to make it a sub account of job supplies. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I've already created a sub account for job supplies. I am just going to categorize this as job supplies for truck 1. And then in the memo here, I'm just going to name it ELD. Keep trucking, ELD job supplies. Now, Easy Pass, toll road, that's pretty straightforward. I recommend getting an Easy Pass or whatever state or part of the country you're in, whatever you guys use to pay for tolls automatically. It just simplifies the whole process. Okay, so everything's categorized in my bank feed. So that's taken care of. I need to do 2 other things. I need to take care of my fuel card. So my fuel card is separate from my checking account. I don't have it connected here automatically. So go to my chart of accounts. I am capturing my fuel card in my QuickBooks. EFS card. All right. Let me go here. I've got another screen pulled up. I'm just looking at the different transactions for my fuel card. So it can get kind of complicated, and if you're not very in tune with your bookkeeping and your accounting, you might just kind of forget about your fuel card, but you want to make sure you're recognizing the revenue going into the fuel card and the fuel expense coming out of the fuel card. So you can see here, I have a couple things. So first of all, I have this deposit on August 6th, $654, and then I spent $150 on fuel, so that's good. And then another deposit of $721. And then I have a couple more transactions I need to capture. So I will go up here into the new button, hit expense. And this is for my fuel card. So it's not directly hooked up to my checking account. Well, it is for ACH transfers, but I'm not tracking it. Okay, so for the payment account, fuel card, and you can usually get the list of transactions directly from whoever your fuel card is. So August 16th was the last time I bought gas. Category, fuel for truck 1. The amount was $93.44. Save and new. I'm going to do this a couple more times. August 16th again. Fuel for truck 1, and the amount was $114.66. All right. Now August 17th. Again, I bought fuel. So this is why you can see here it's important to keep up with your bookkeeping on a weekly basis, because this can get very tedious if you let it go for a month. If you let it go for 2 months, you can see how it kind of compounds and it can become overwhelming very quickly. So you definitely want to make sure you stay on top of it. Now, let's see, August 25th. Fuel. This is the last one I'll do. I have a couple more, but just for the sake of time, this is the last one I'll do. 120.51. Okay, I have about 5 more, but I'm not going to do those right now. Okay, I've got one more thing I wanted to show you, and that is how to report, let's see, 5 5691. Okay, so now I have a factoring company. So there's a bunch of different variables that go into it, right? So not only do you have your credit cards and your checking accounts like every other business owner, but we also have factoring companies and fuel cards. So my factoring company puts money directly onto my fuel card. Sometimes I'll transfer it from my fuel card to my checking account, but most of the time I'll usually just leave it on my fuel card. Hopefully once I start making a little bit more money, I'll be able to transfer more money, but for now, I typically just keep it all on my fuel card. So the factoring company gives me these random numbers for the batch number. So I just make sure that matches my journal number to the batch number from my invoice for my factoring company. So this will be for August 27th. I've already explained this a couple times, but I'll just go through it real quick. There are a couple things that go into the factoring company. So first of all, revenue. I like to start backwards with revenue of, let's see, nope. Okay, so for my revenue, I just have it labeled sales. You can name it, income, revenue, sales, driving income, driving revenue, trucking. It doesn't matter what you name it as long as it's an income account. Let's see, it was $580. This was just one load. $580. Now the factoring fee, they take out 2.99%. So they took $17.34. And then another factoring fee. This happens every single time of $5.75. And that is just for the ACH transfer and the invoice creation. And then $556.91 was deposited onto my EFS card. So that's how you do a journal entry for your factoring company. Hopefully you all are making a lot more money than I am, but that was just one load, $580. That was one factoring transaction. You can factor, 5, 10, 15 loads at once, or you could factor every single load individually. Okay, so the only thing I have left to do is to continue entering my fuel transactions for my fuel card, but I'm not going to do that now because I'm all caught up for the time period that I want to show you all. So I'll just jump right into my profit and loss, and we can see how my company did the third week of August. I can probably give you a little spoiler and probably tell you that it was not super great. So we'll go August 15th to August 21st. So just to put things into perspective, I got my truck like July 4th-ish, first week of July. And I think I've done, and I did my first run on like July 29th, July 28th. I did my first run. So it took about 3 weeks to get up and running, past the DOT inspection. I had to get a couple new tires. But it took me about 3 to 4 weeks to get up and running after I actually got my truck. And now this is about my third week of doing runs, doing loads, doing deliveries. So August 15th to August 21st. So not terribly exciting here. You can see just $750 for this week. Spent $300 on hotel. So I paid my driver sometimes up front for the hotel. So I transferred $300 to his account for the hotel and spent $310 on fuel. And then the factoring fees, and then I spent $140 on my Easy Pass. So this is a pretty slow week. Not a whole lot happened, and it depends on how you account for things. Like I run on a cash basis, so I don't recognize my revenue as soon as I create the invoices. I recognize the revenue, once the cash is received or deposited into my account. So I was running this week. I was delivering more loads than just one, but I hadn't gotten paid for them yet. So that's why it looks like a pretty slow week. I think I might have done 2 or 3 loads this week. Income, $750. I think that was just one run. Paid for the hotel, paid for a couple other things. So just about broke even for this third week of August. So if I look now at the whole month of August for the first 3 weeks, we can see here $2,750 of income and cost of labor here 2,358, net income 1,600, negative $1,628. So that's the first 3 weeks of running. I think the fourth week of August will be a little bit better, but stay tuned for the next video. And really, the couple reasons why I'm making these videos: one, so you guys can get a unique perspective, some different insight into kind of the back office of a trucking company, still very new. And then also, if any of you guys are struggling, just don't get discouraged. If you are owner operators, if you're actually driving your truck, you're going to be making a lot more money because, I mean, you'll be making these driver pays. So whatever I'm paying my drivers, essentially what the owner operator will be making, plus any residual leftover net income. So if you're an owner operator, you're probably making a lot more money. But I am just an owner, not necessarily the operator. I'm just kind of owning the business, and then I'm hiring drivers to run for me. So from that standpoint, from that perspective, it's more of a long-term investment. I will have a lot more cost up front. So, so far for the first 3 weeks of August, I've lost $1,628. So, pretty exciting stuff coming up in the next video. I'm looking at getting a different truck. I'm kind of finalizing that deal right now. So hopefully I'll be getting rid of my 18-foot truck and upgrading to a 26-foot truck, because I quickly realized that you can't really do a whole lot with an 18-foot truck. So another super exciting QuickBooks tutorial. I know it's not the most glamorous stuff, but hopefully it provides some insight for you guys and kind of explains how to do some of the bookkeeping. So if y'all ever need help with your bookkeeping, please reach out. You can find me at harrisburgbookkeeping.com. You can find me on my Facebook page at Harrisburg Bookkeeping. And then I'm also pretty active on my YouTube channel, where this video will be posted later. It's under my name, I think, Zach Pasquarello. So appreciate you all watching. I'd be happy to help you with your trucking company and your bookkeeping. And stay tuned.